Large fire burning 2 apartment buildings, including 24 units. The smoke visible all across the Salt Lake Valley. Those residents there now displaced. Take a look at these viewer videos here sent to us of the smoke and the flames out there. Chopper 5 also flying above those flames. We're told the fire is burning near 4800 South, 1300 East right now. We just heard from the captain there, Captain Tony Barker of Unified Fire Department, says this fire first started at 1:40 this afternoon. Somebody apparently was mowing their lawn. That's what sparked the fire in the field near the apartment complex. Had strong winds out there today. That's what pushed the fire into 2 apartment buildings. Crews did their best to protect the buildings, but they could not stop it from spreading there. 2 buildings directly impacted. Again, minimum of 24 units. Families have been displaced. Units are burned down there, and everyone apparently got out safely. From what we understand, there's been fighting, both field fires here and an apartment fire. They did so at the same time. So you can imagine firefighters had their hands full trying to fight this. Again, as you're looking at these live pictures from Chopper 5, it's incredible the damage that's been done. Completely destroyed these buildings. Still a lot of smoke. It looks like the flames are put out for the most part, but a complete demolition of these 2 apartment buildings. Still a volatile incident right now. Unknown on the injuries. That's one thing that a lot of people are wondering about. Have people been injured in this? We don't have a complete report on that at this point, including firefighters, which could have had smoke inhalation. We don't know. Those are things we're trying to sort out right now. The hope, of course, is that everyone is out of there safely. Red Cross has an evacuation and staging area at an LDS church, which is nearby. But you can see, Deanie, you're looking at this. So much water is still being put on this building.
Yeah, and the thing that most people will know this or have seen so far is just the incredible plume of smoke that's across the entire valley. Fortunately, it started out really black, and you can see it's turned white, which is encouraging, that would connote firefighting efforts, but still concerning when we know how hot it's been, when we know that this is still fireworks season. We don't know the cause of this, but we do know that there's been just exactly this concern from firefighters about the safety and the problem if a fire were to start.
And that's one of the things they're investigating, that cause. And one thing they believe could be the cause here was somebody who was mowing their lawn, and that's what sparked it in that nearby field. So we're going to keep on top of this really throughout the afternoon. Again, these live pictures from Chopper 5. We've got a couple of crews that are on the scene, on the ground right now. Brittany Tate is there. We have Shara Park as well. So between those two, getting out there, making sure they're talking to people, firefighters, and possibly trying to get a hold of some of those who have been displaced. They're going to figure out some more of the details on this one right now. So keep it right here on KSL as we continue to follow this breaking news this afternoon.
Thank you. Devin Mishuli joins us now. And, you know, we've been reporting in the last few days, the wind, the heat, they are also playing a factor in this.
Yes, and the wind is definitely still elevated out there. I know temperatures have been a little bit cooler than normal, but it has also been dry. So even though temperatures haven't been in the triple digits, the dry air keeps the chance for fires to happen very easily. This is actually our downtown camera looking southeast, and this is right where that fire was. So there was some height to that smoke plume. Now it's getting a little bit lower, closer to the ground. So it looks like efforts are going in the right direction right now. Temperatures are at 94 degrees in Salt Lake. So basically where we were at yesterday, 98 degrees in St. George. Wind gusts, especially in the Salt Lake Valley, have been anywhere between 25 to 30 miles per hour. Further to the southwest, winds also remain elevated, and that's going to be the story of the next couple of days. These strong winds are going to continue to interact with that dry air, and we do have red flag warnings in effect for mostly central and southern Utah. Still, you can see what can happen across the northern parts of the state, where technically those red flag warnings aren't in effect. Through this evening, we will see mostly sunny skies, clear conditions. We will have some clouds passing through the state overnight tonight. Temperatures will be pretty steady the next couple of days, but we are going to get a bit hotter as we head into next week, and we'll talk more about that, guys, in the full 7-day forecast.
All right, sounds good. Devin, thank you. We're also following developing news coming out of Millard County. Authorities there investigating after 3 people were found dead inside of a home. One of those, we're told, was a young child.
This happened at 2430 North, 3900 West in Flowell, which is just west of Fillmore. News specialist Daniel Woodruff has the latest.
This is the scene here in central Utah in Flowell, where those 3 people were found dead. It was in a home right behind me. There's crime scene tape set up around the property. There's a Millard County Sheriff's vehicle here in the driveway at the front. Sheriff's officials tell us they got the report last night about 8:30 in the evening of deceased individuals in this area. They say when they arrived, they found 3 people who had died, 2 adults and a young child. Now, there's very little information so far available. They tell us the investigation is ongoing, but at this point, there is nothing indicating that there is any type of threat to the public. Officials tell me, though, that this is a very difficult time for all of those who have responded to this, a very difficult incident to process and a difficult investigation to get through. Officials say they will release more information later. We did ask for an interview with the sheriff's office, but they declined. In Millard County, Daniel Woodruff, KSL 5 News.
Thank you, Daniel. We brought you this news first through our KSL Plus app. Scan the QR code now to download the new app. Get breaking news sent straight to your phone.
If I was accountable for these crimes, I would acknowledge it, and I would let you know how sorry I was.
Lori Vallow Daybell there speaking in an Arizona courtroom just moments before being sentenced to 2 more life terms. Convictions stem from murder conspiracies involving her estranged husband, Charles Vallow, and her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux. Prosecutors say that she plotted the killings with her brother, Alex Cox, who shot and killed Charles in 2019 and then later fired at Boudreaux but missed. They say that she was motivated by a $1 million life insurance policy and a desire to marry her then-boyfriend, Doomsday author Chad Daybell. Vallow Daybell is already serving life in Idaho for the murders of her 2 youngest children and Daybell's previous wife, Tammy. The children were missing for months before their bodies were found buried on Daybell's property. In court, Vallow Daybell claimed that her brother acted in self-defense and denied conspiring in either Arizona case.
Now to politics, where the long-simmering clash between President Donald Trump and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell was on full display during a tour this week at the renovation site of the central bank's headquarters. Well, President Trump continued criticizing Powell. He reiterated he has no plans to fire him. And privately, Powell has been adamant that he will serve out his full term. Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook reports.
During a tour of the Fed's ongoing renovation project, President Donald Trump claimed that the work cost $3.1 billion. That's about $600 million more than its stated price tag, leading to an uncomfortable exchange where Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell fact-checked Trump in real time.
The 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2. This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
Now, you're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital plan.
Yeah, you just added in a 3rd building is what that is. That's a 3rd building.
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
This project, which is costing more than originally expected, has become a big focus point for the president, even saying at one point that it could be a fireable offense, as he criticizes Powell for other things. It's important to note that typically presidents have avoided taking any steps that might appear to interfere in the central bank's independence. But Trump has been ramping up pressure on Powell when it comes to a politically sensitive issue, lowering interest rates, as Powell has been keeping interest rates steady. Powell has told multiple allies and associates that there's no chance he will bow to the president's calls for him to resign, arguing that stepping down would undermine the institution's long-standing freedom from political interference. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Thank you, Julia. The Fed is widely expected to hold rates steady when they meet next week. Powell is just one of 12 people at the Fed who votes on policy moves. Disgraced former Congressman George Santos is now behind bars. The Federal Bureau of Prisons says Santos reported today to a federal prison in New Jersey to begin serving his 7-year sentence. The former New York Republican pleaded guilty to wire fraud and identity theft, admitting he stole donor identities to fund his campaign and his lifestyle. Prosecutors say Santos stole donors' identity and funneled money into his congressional campaign and to his personal expenses.
Deportation flights are now taking off from Florida's controversial Alligator Alcatraz, a detention site deep in the Everglades. Right now, it is not clear where those flights are going. The facility has drawn some backlash over poor conditions and legal concerns. This afternoon, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said that the mission of the detention site is straightforward.
This should be a pretty simple process. You either have a right to be here or you don't. And really, that's what we need to determine when you do this. And once that's determined, if you're in this country illegally, then you should be subject to expeditious deportation.
Immigration and customs officials say a handful of flights have already removed dozens of people said to be in the United States illegally. Despite the mounting criticism and looming legal battles here, authorities say more arrests are coming, and Alligator Alcatraz is ready to hold thousands more.
Big changes are coming to one of Salt Lake County's busiest corridors next week. Starting Monday, UDOT will launch a major renovation project along I-215, rebuilding a 3-mile stretch between State Route 201 and North Temple, and reconstructing 14 miles of ramps connecting I-80, State Road 201, and California Avenue. UDOT says crews will rehabilitate 22 aging bridges in that area. It's all part of a long-term plan to extend the life of this critical commuter route. Northbound I-215, as a result, will be reduced to 3 lanes starting Monday at 8 o'clock, and that will stay in place through next year.
All right, hockey fans, get ready for this. Utah Mammoth are hitting the road, and they're bringing the ice to your neighborhood. Mammoth Week kicks off on Saturday in Logan, bringing a mobile fan fest to 7 cities all across Utah. Fans can enjoy street hockey, on-ice clinics, some giveaways, and surprise guest appearances. That starts at 10 o'clock in the morning at Eccles Ice Arena in Logan.
One small appliance is posing a big safety risk. Why this mini fridge is now on a national recall list.
Plus, a question many are asking, could removing fluoride put kids' dental health at risk? The growing debate playing out all across the country.
And Brittany Tate is at the scene of this fire in Holladay. We have a report from the ground that we'll have coming up.
Closed captioning sponsored by Blue Stakes of Utah 811. Remember to call 811 3 business days before you dig. It's the law.
It's some.
Tracking breaking news this afternoon out of Mill Creek, a massive fire leveling 2 apartment buildings.
Brittany Tate is live on the scene with the latest information. Brittany?
Hi, yes, we are here. The smoke is so thick. Many people gathered on the side of the road watching what is absolutely tragic. Now, we're told that this blaze started as a field fire and then quickly spread to a nearby apartment complex. Right now, fire crews are currently fighting that blaze, which has engulfed two different apartment complexes. We're told from fire crews that 2 buildings are impacted. That means that's a minimum of 24 units, multiple families displaced at this time, so many units burned. The good news that we're hearing from fire crews is that everybody got out safely. Now, I did just speak to a volunteer and a worker with the Utah Red Cross. She tells me that she just arrived here on scene, but they are doing everything in their power to make preparations just down the street here at 1300 East to make sure that all of those displaced families have a place to go, some place to sleep tonight, as well as food for them to eat. This is all just happening so quickly. Again, a field fire that quickly spread and turned into an apartment complex fire. So fire crews not only trying to put out that field fire, but also this unit fire. Oh my goodness, it's really smoky out here. It's just absolutely amazing how many crews are on the scene, everybody working so quickly. Weather conditions are not great. The fire condition, a fire watch warning for most of the state right now because of low humidity and the high winds. Clearly, those were factors in this fire today. We'll keep you updated, but again, a very active scene out here. Fire crews working diligently to try and put out both a field fire and this apartment complex fire. Back to you.
Yeah, tinder dry conditions out there, as she mentioned. That's the thing. They believe that this was sparked by someone who was mowing a lawn in that field there. And who knows what color the grass was, but if it's like most of the valley out there is probably brown, and that's what sparked that thing. And those winds, once they catch hold of it,
it just explodes. Yeah. We've seen that over and over. Thank you, Brittany.
All right, more than 630,000 Frigidaire branded mini fridges are being recalled due to a fire hazard. Safety notice here says internal wiring can short circuit and ignite the plastic. At least 26 incidents have been reported with damages topping $700,000. The fridges were sold nationwide at Walmart and Amazon between 2020 and 2023.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has made a bold pledge to make America healthy again, including taking on fluoride. Here in Utah, officials have already banned adding fluoride to public drinking water.
Yeah, now the FDA is preparing to ban prescription fluoride supplements nationwide. Lee Waldman has more on what experts are saying about these changes.
Often referred to as the champagne of drinking water, New York City's water is carefully monitored by the Department of Environmental Protection.
Our job is to make sure that we are adding the precise amount of fluoride within a very narrow band. Too little and it doesn't do its job. Too much and it could be harmful.
The city's acting commissioner of health says the addition of fluoride is important for the health of New Yorkers and opposes its removal.
I'd be concerned about kids who live in families where getting into preventative care is very challenging. And there are tremendous barriers to care, unfortunately, in New York City.
The CDC's recommended fluoride concentration is 0.7 milligrams per liter of water, about equal to 3 drops of water in a 55-gallon barrel. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is advising to remove it altogether. HHS and the EPA are reviewing a report from the National Toxicology Program linking high levels of fluoride, more than double the recommended amount, to lower IQ in children. But there was insufficient data to determine the impact of lower levels. Dr. Vicky Evangelita Sakelson with Columbia University's Dental College agrees with many in her field that fluoride in water is safe and effective. She thinks politicians should leave science to the experts.
It is a complex problem, and they should give money and funding to do the studies. So when we talk based on data, and we don't talk based on feelings.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
All right, Lee, thank you very much for that. Classic U.S. stamp. It's making a comeback, and it's your vote which could actually bring this back. Postal Service is reissuing one of 25 past favorites based on public voting, now open at stampsforever.com/vote. You have until the end of September to cast your ballot. Winning design will be revealed in May at the Boston 2026 World Expo, part of America's 250th birthday celebrations.
All right. Devin is here. We've seen how the smoke has penetrated through our valley, but it's really a problem all over in the state, different fires.
It's really unfortunate how the fire in northern Arizona is now with the wind blowing all that thick smoke down to the surface in southeastern Utah. This is actually a camera looking in northern Arizona. It's the Paria Overlook, and you can just see the visibility is reduced greatly, maybe a mile or two through there, and this extends into southeastern Utah. Winds all across the state are coming in from the southwest. Now, sometimes are gusting up to 25, even 30 miles per hour. The sustained wind speed, that constant breeze that you're feeling, is anywhere between 10 miles per hour up to 17 miles per hour at the Salt Lake Airport right now, and 20 miles per hour at Cedar City. These winds are going to remain elevated and from the southwest as we head into the weekend. So, of course, we're still expecting that wildfire smoke in southeastern Utah to remain a concern. Of course, the closer you get to that fire in northern Arizona, the worse the smoke is going to get, the worse your visibility is going to be at times. This is later on tonight. You can see the darker colors mean the thicker concentration down to the ground. As we head into Saturday morning, you can see it somewhat disperses a little bit away from Lake Powell, but as we approach the evening hours yet again, with that breeze and the winds kind of calming down at night, it just really settles back into that southwestern or southeastern corner. To couple with this, we have elevated fire danger across majority of the state and southwestern Wyoming. All of the red that you see here are red flag warnings in effect, so visibility very low for majority of this, or humidity very low for majority of the state, and wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, maybe even some instances higher than that. So be responsible when you're out this weekend. I don't know if fireworks can still go off, but just be mindful, and even that's extending up to southwestern Wyoming. Temperatures right now, I guess the only good thing is we're not excessively high. We're actually still a little bit cooler than normal. It's still hot though. If you're in the sun, you're going to get burned. I don't know if you can see how red my arm is, but my left arm got burned today. 94 degrees in Salt Lake right now, in Moab, 98 degrees in St. George with mostly sunny skies. We just have passing clouds here or there, and we'll see that again tomorrow. It looks like the band of clouds will pass overnight, so when you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll see some of those clouds. Then they'll continue to lift to our north. Sunday, more of the same, just some clouds here or there with a high of 95 degrees. As we do head into the beginning of next week, temperatures will be back into the upper 90s, but the second half of next week, we were hoping for some rain. But right now, our long-range models are kind of split, so I don't want to overpromise anything, but maybe if we can get a high-pressure system to come closer to us, it'll actually bring some rain chances, but you'll see in the 7-day, I'm not too optimistic. So for tomorrow, upper 80s again, been very similar the last couple of days. 96 the high in Green River. Those areas could be still seeing that haziness, smoky skies like there in Moab. The further southeast you go, like Hanksville, Monticello, Kanab, those areas like Lake Powell can be seeing those thicker concentrations of smoke. Temperatures at 99 degrees tomorrow for St. George, 100 degrees on Sunday, then back above normal Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, around 103, 104 degrees. For northern Utah, low 90s in Logan and Tremont, as well as West Valley, upper 80s in Heber City. For the Wasatch Front, we will be in the low 90s. Exactly what you're feeling today will be just like that tomorrow with some passing clouds. Winds, though, will be elevated. It looks like on Sunday, winds are going to be even stronger across the Salt Lake Valley. For us up here, up to 30 miles per hour. So I know we don't have red flag warnings in effect, but still just be wise out there. Temperatures get hot on Monday and Tuesday with the upper 90s, then looks like a slowly fall, or a bit of a fall there for the rest of next week, getting closer to normal.
Okay, I'm still wondering, left arm burned, right arm not burned?
Yeah, I think because the sun was like there.
Okay, arm hanging out the window?
No, I was just sitting outside with a friend, and then I was like, oh, this is burning.
Okay,
so,
even that out this weekend.
I'll try.
All right, thanks.
We'll be right back.
KSL Weather sponsored by Mountain Home Services. Upgrade your HVAC with 60 months, 0% APR financing.
You've trusted Master Electrical since 1954. Now we introduce you to Mountain Home Services. Along with electrical, we can take